Here I am in Photoshop with my UV map for the ducky open. It doesn't look like much right now. Here's what I'm going to do. This layer is called Layer 1. I'm going to rename it. This is my UV. I'm also going to lock it. I don't want to paint on the UVs. I don't want to obliterate the UVs. I'm always going to be working on new layers. I'm going to keep the UV map at the top, and this layer 1, I am just going to go to the Edit menu and fill with white. That's so much better, because now it basically looks like a coloring book and I can just color things in. So I'll make a third layer, and at this point I can just start painting. And I might start with some color blocking, so maybe we'll begin with orange, and I will make the beak orange, and the little footsies, they'll be orange too. And because I put some space around each of my UV maps, I don't need to be too careful. And then the body and the legs, I will make a different color, maybe I've been really digging the blues lately. Maybe we'll go blue. And I will fill that in. Now, of course, I've been thinking of this little birdie ducky thing as a stuffed animal, but maybe you're thinking that it's like a little glass knick-knack, so maybe you want to go a little bit different with your colors. Could happen. What I'll do is just do this basic color block. And then I can start to get creative. So maybe I will make another layer, and on this layer, instead of this teal color, I will go a little bit darker, and I'll take my brush, reduce the opacity, decrease the hardness, and now I can come in and start putting in little smudgy bits. Do the same thing on the legs. And maybe on the legs I want to pick up some of this orange color and start just kind of softly pulling that up. Just really soft. Same thing here. Softly pulling up. Really soft. And again, you know, if it's ceramic or glass or plush, you'll have a different focus in mind. But maybe I can come in and start just pulling other colors in, because maybe this belonged to a child and it's been getting really dirty. So a low opacity brush will just let me start putting in little areas that are a bit different from the other areas. That might be too low opacity. Let's go up a little bit. We don't want to be here all day. I mean, I don't want to be here all day. If you really enjoy painting, you might want to be here all day. This might be your happy place. I'm going to come in, and this is the face area, so maybe right up here on the face, I'll do just a little bit of a pinkish color to give it a little bit of blush. Great. Now I can take this layer and I can duplicate it. I can run some filters on it. Maybe I want to fragment this or add some noise. I always like noise. Make a really big noise. And then I can give it a blur. And then maybe just pull the opacity of this one back, just so it's a nice, really subtle touch. Whatever you want to do, you can do. When I've got my basic paint, I can save this. I'm going to want to save this two ways. First, I do want to save it as a PSD or some other thing that's going to preserve all of my layers so that I can go back and re-edit anytime I need. Second, I'm going to turn off the visibility of the UV map, and then I am going to save as, and this one I am going to save as a PNG. This is the one that I'm going to bring back into Maya because it's going to be smaller and more efficient. So I'll call this Ducky01 color because that's what I've painted. I could paint other maps. I could paint a specular map or a sheen map. Or in the filter menu, there are 3D filters, and I could try converting a drawing into a normal map. So you should be aware that you do have some options, but for the moment I'm just going to paint a color map. When I come back into Maya, I can drop this down, close that, pull my Hypershade back up, make myself a new Ducky tab, I will press Tab to make an AI standard surface node, press Tab again to make a file texture, connect the out color to my base color, and pull in that PNG. That one that says color on it. Now all I have to do is assign this to my ducky. Let's select the ducky in object mode, and then assign. And now I should be able to, when I render, see how good my texture looks. This is a great place for me to pause the video. I have gone through exporting the UV map, creating a color file, and bringing that texture back into Maya. When I come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what just happened.